Doesn't make a good die. Some kind of outpost. With pens. It might be where Regala's keeping her machines. I need to find a way to get in there. I could scan the area to see what I'm up against. And tag any rebels or machines in my focus to keep track of them. Okay, I'm in. I have to clear out this place before I can look around.
Hey, did you hear that?
Bring her down!
You've made a huge mistake. I'm being attacked! You will fall! Everyone, move in! Everyone in my mark! You hurting yet? Damn it! Fire!
Yes, it's working. Keep me going. A lot of pens, not that many machines. Where'd they all go? Better check in that cave. Send this to my stash. The drawbridge. Might be my way across. That's one half of the bridge. But how to drop the other side? Scanning the bridge with my focus might show me something. Looks like there are a couple of weak points. There are the ropes attached to the bridge. There. Bridge is down. Bristleback. It looks like it fell into a tunnel. So the rebels were keeping bristlebacks here. The machines fell into the tunnel, which must have collapsed as they ran further in. What if Alvin's explosives created the sinkhole? I should head back to Chainscrape to let Javad know. shock ammo could help. It looks like the rebels have a camp in addition to those machine pens. I should see what they're up to. They've got riders patrolling the area. Better be careful.
Alarm! Alarm! Engage that target!
Relief. River seems to run through the camp. Maybe I can use it to get in.
If she's smart, she won't be here.
Steady now.
This is not end well for you, Outlander. Punish her! What the?
I bet I can climb that wall there. Maybe find a way into the camp.
That'll cause. Advance! She's picking us off.
Made it. If I want to figure out what's going on here, I need to find whoever's in charge.
Engage her!
We have a casualty!
Oh no. Hold on! We're not losing everyone! Hit her hard!
find out what these guys are up to. I think one of these structures is a command center.
Loyal to Noct, hear me. I was told a soldier from this camp goaded one of the sons of Prometheus into an altercation. You would do well to remember that our allies are responsible for providing the machines that we shall ride to glory. The next fool who interferes with them will be eviscerated and left in the desert for carrion. There will be no second warning. Will that be sufficient?
Yeah, that should prevent your people from butting heads with mine. You have my thanks, Regala.
May our pact lead to victory.
So Regala's not working alone. These sons of Prometheus gave her the ability to override machines. A map of the Daunt. Tracking movement in and out of barren light, with emphasis on the fort's weak points. Looks like they were trying to stock up on blaze. Enough to blow up something big. They're gonna blow up barren light. Make a hole big enough to fit an entire army. So Regala plans on invading the Sundown. At least when she gets an army big enough to do it. I have to get rid of that blaze. Prisoner. Oseram, I think. I need to blow up that blaze, for Barren Light's sake. Hopefully the rebels will abandon this place now. I could deal with the rest of them now, or head out. Either way, my job is done here. Hey, I'm here to help. You okay?
Yeah, no. Thanks, Red.
I should keep... an eye out for more of these rebel camps. Stop them from stirring up trouble. I need to find out more about these sons of Prometheus. Stop them from helping the rebels slaughter their own people. Not to mention the Carja. power generator. Looks dead. Damn it! It's down! Oh, it's like too difficult to climb. I'll have to find another way. It's time for the stash. Console. Can't climb any higher, but looks like this thing can rotate. If I can figure out a way to turn the power back on, I might be able to move things around and find a way up. power cell. Disconnected from the main power line. This should get that generator below the dish going. There's the generator. Bet this power cell can get it running. Power's back. I should check that console I found earlier. Let's see what this thing does.
Error. Dish alignment incomplete. Motor function impeded. I should be able to get to that tall neck now. Just gotta find the right spot. Looks like I might need to glide onto the tall neck. Just gotta time it right. It must be Plainsong. From the Taro tribe's home. Built on top of old satellite dishes. I'll next send map data to other machines. Stash this away for later.
Meridian? Well, I've got some... You ever hear of Machine Strike, Red? It's a Tanakh game. Very strategic, I hear. It's starting to make its way east. I've been thinking of asking my buddy Salma over in Chainscrape to teach me.
Sounds like fun. Maybe I'll give it a try sometime.
Take solace in the sight.
Turn back, Outlander. Stone's Echo is for Utaru only.
Guess I'm not getting in there.
It's been some time. Good to see you. Are you doing well?
Pretty sure that's the passage Laren's contract mentioned. I should make sure I have my facts straight. Give the contract a quick read. Shellwalkers use this passage regularly, and Lauren wants their plating. I just need to wait them out at his camp. Might be a good idea to place some traps on the road first. Catch the convoy by surprise. I should rest up. Wait for the convoy. Making preparations. The convoy. It's here. Lauren's contract said they'd set up traps along the passage. Might as well use them. Could shoot it with fire. barrel lock or something. I wonder what it's got in that container on its back. He's in here. Just gotta let Larend know his crew can pick up the plating they wanted. Save the extra stock for later. Stash. There's a lot of ancient wrecks out here. Must have been a huge battle. The old ones. They gave everything they had to slow down the Pharaoh swarm. To buy Zero Dawn time. Tanakh rebels. They're trying to corner those Osrim.
Hey you, flame hair. Come here and let me thank you proper. If it isn't the hero of the day. Sure, I'm glad you came by when you did.
Are you all Delvers?
We've been working No Man's Land for a while. I was hoping to get back to Barren Light by the time they opened the gates, you know? After that embassy of theirs. Seeing as how we almost got minced to pieces just now, I'm guessing things didn't go so well.
You could say that.
It's not like No Man's Land was safe to begin with. But I didn't think I'd have to worry about the Sanak, the neutral territory. And now, they're riding machines.
If you were headed back to Barren Light, why did you stop here?
We ran across some ruins nearby. Thought we'd take a gander, find some good salvage. But the place is full of weird red crystals. Can't get through the stuff. So we ended up making camp here. First thing tomorrow, though, we head straight to Barren Light. Should probably send a message to our crew down at Jagged Deep about all this, too.
Jagged Deep?
It's a dig site by this big lake down south. Old world scrap everywhere. Can't miss it. And that's my cue. Here. Thanks for helping us out. Maybe I'll get into more trouble and see you around.
Well, let's hope not. An old world ruin. Wonder what's inside. Okay, let's see what we can find around here. Red crystals growing on the wall. I don't think there's anything I can do about them. Well, without a way to get through those red crystals, there's not much I can do. I better move on for now. Get this from my stash when I need it. A relic. How do I get to it? Looks like this door's locked. Maybe there's another way in. This crate might be useful.
Huntress!
I took down that shell walker for you.
Vonda, Rendor! We got a pickup! Per our contract, here's your payment. This will definitely help me make some great armor.
What?
Well, I realized an armor made out of shellwalker plating's good, but with just a few minor additions, it could be so much better. If you'd be willing to take on a few more contracts. What do you say?
What else do you need for your armor?
Alarm antennas? Strong? Supple? I could use them to make my armor more flexible? We picked out a herd of scroungers already.
I'll, read through the contract. See what I can do.
Best of luck!
Tell me more about these contracts of yours.
I was thinking, scrabber jaws are powerful. I could use them to strengthen my armor. Crew spotted a pack of them not far from here, primed for salvage.
I guess I can give the contract a look.
Fantastic.
I should get going.
I'll be waiting for that salvage. I know I can make the perfect part. I just need the right parts. This is what a windy motion.
Someone's in a hurry. Easy there, Red. Why else would one leave the glory of Mainspring? Boredom. Nothing interesting. See you again, Savior.
So, you've returned from the west. Any luck?
The bristlebacks were being penned by Tenakth rebels on the other side of the mountains. Alvin's explosives opened up a sinkhole, dropping them into the tunnels.
Which they followed to the mine and out into the Daunt.
Right. Aside from the rebels, if anyone is to blame for the bristlebacks, it's Alvin.
Radiant beams of the sun. And all this time he was pointing the finger at us. Bring Alvin here. Petra, too.
Summoned like a blasted ale winch. You best be meaning to put pen to parch.
Are the Carja going to sign the concession?
What? Why is she here?
I live here too, lugnut. So what's this about?
Thanks to the Savior, the sun has shown the truth on the bristleback incursion. Tenakth rebels were keeping pens of machines on the other side of the mountains. A sinkhole swallowed them, releasing them into the underground tunnels that led east and out into the Daunt.
So it was an accident. But let us not forget that it was the Carja.
I'm not done. The sinkhole only formed due to your unauthorized blasting in the southern mine, Ulvund. You are responsible for the machine rampage, the workers we lost, the destruction the bristlebacks caused. All of it.
My dear magistrate, has your precious son baked your senses? I would never give such an order without first consulting you.
Evidence says otherwise. Aloy found the shipping manifest in the mine. You skirted the laws of the Sundom, Alvin. All for a few extra shards.
Greedy as ever. And you almost drowned your other miners. And sent that oversized tool over there to intimidate a bunch of refugees.
I demand an official investigation. I won't be the victim of some Karja scheme.
Certainly. We'll conduct a thorough inquest into everything. The bristlebacks, the mine, the refugees. Every business deal you ever put your name to.
Well, that's not necessary, is it? What if I just return to the claim?
Oh, well, that would save the Crown the cost.
Of course. I'll be on my way as soon as I wrap up some previous commitments, tie up some loose ends. After all, the welfare of Chainscrape's people in a transition like
Nope,
this...
you're leaving right now. Chainscrape will be just fine.
You think she can run this scorched-out, forged dump? Ha! Knock yourself out.
Get out!
Oh, don't want you, don't need you. First and right!
Get off me!
Mud looks good on you, Alvin.
As the sun burns away shadow. Thank you for that, Aloy.
Well, he had it coming.
Here, please accept this token of gratitude. You've done the Sundom and my sanity a great service. And I believe we have some matters to discuss.
Guess we do. Not the most pleasant boots to fill, but I'll wear them. All thanks to you, Flamehair.
Okay. Chainscrape will be better off with Petra in charge.
Move those feet.
I was hoping you'd be back. Got something new just for you, if you're interested. Keep repeating the same attacks, your enemy will dodge them. Vary your attacks and combinations. Make yourself less predictable. Come on. If your opponent keeps blocking, then use a heavy attack or a power attack to break through. Either that or hit them from behind. Close attention to your opponent's stance. Read their intentions. Choose your attacks to break their defense.
That's all for now.
Let me know when you want to try some more training. Here to practice, friend. I set up some new training while you were gone.
It's been a while.
Eyes up here, brother.
But energy doesn't last forever. That spirit can give you the edge in battle. Keep energizing it, and then your enemies. Triggering those energy blasts should help you vanquish your opponents.
I know you see me.
Nora in the dawn.
Use your blade. Use your mind. Good.
You speak well, friend.
I see how you earned your reputation. A good series of attacks. An impressive. A good series of attacks.
Tell me you're seeing things.
A good series of attacks. Those are best against machines. I look at the machine. Yield. I yield. Well fought, friend. Well fought.
Are you okay?
Yeah. Ooh. Serves me right for thinking I could go up against the savior of Meridian. Here, have this. A little something for the new champion.
Thank you, Hodurg.
Don't be a stranger now. Come back whenever you'd like to spar again.
Okay, that's all for now, I think.
Good luck out there.
Suppose you heard back from that lazy brother of yours.
That a statement?
Well, look who's back. Making sparks fly out there?
How are the refugees doing?
They keep to themselves mostly, but they have food and shelter. Some even found work around town. Good thinking, giving them that Stormbird heart.
I'm glad it helped. I hope they can get back on their feet.
I'll keep checking up on them.
Then they'll be just fine. I thought you'd be back in Free Heap.
Well, after the big battle at Meridian, I went back, but realized it was running smooth. Didn't need me. Heard about the rebuilding out at Barren Light. Figured they could use another hammer. And thanks to your handiwork, I got my hands full getting this place into shape.
I guess you found the right place.
Guess I did.
Has Tolland been giving the refugees any trouble?
Nah. His shop got closed down not long after Alvin got the boot. So, he cleared out of town. Took his goons with him, too. Good riddance, I say.
The concession decree Alvin wanted, what was it exactly? And how would it have helped him?
Big old pig diddle, that's what.
A writ that would have put all Osram claims in the Daunt under Osram law, even though they're on Karja land. It would have meant that any existing ore, stone, and timber claims couldn't be revoked by the Karja. No more risk, no more hesitation for investors backing the claim to pour in the shards and expand their business. And since Alvin had a stake in all those claims, it would have made him richer than a scrapper in a junk heap. Not to mention Chainscrape would have become an Ostra municipality, so he could have bought enough votes to call himself an elderman. He's a sly old badger, I'll give him that. Almost got away with it, too.
Well, I have to be going. Thanks for the drink, Petra. I'm glad I stopped by.
Anytime, Flamehair.
Hey, Red. Fancy a game of strike? Come to revel in some strike, sister? Let me set the board.
I was just passing by.
First timer, huh? Don't worry about it. I'll go easy on you. You got any pieces?
No.
Well, aren't you in luck then? I got an extra set, a Tanakh original straight out of the Forbidden West. Sit. I'll run you through it in a hot spark. I'll give you something special if you win it on my boards, too. All right, let's start off simple. The Tanakh like to say that Machine Strike is a game of pure strategy. We each get a set of pieces. Each piece represents a kind of machine, and each machine is worth a different number of victory points. And to win the game, you'll need to gain 7 victory points by destroying the opponent's machines. It can be tricky remembering the details of every machine, so we use these notes to keep track of them. You see that number on the top right corner? That there is how many victory points you'll get for destroying that machine. Notes also tell you how far a piece can move, how powerful their attacks are, the distance they can strike from, and of course, their health. Okay, that's enough for now. Let's just play. I'll explain the rest as we go. I own the board, so I get to choose who goes first. Since this is your first time, I'll let you go. Usually you get to choose which pieces to set on the board, but this will do for now. Pick up that machine piece to your right, and move it forward. And remember, each machine can only move a certain distance. Take a look at your notes if you need a reminder. Easy enough, huh? Now, you get to move 2 machines each round, so go ahead and... Perfect. There's not much else to do for now, so just end your turn. We're forging onwards. Let me move my pieces here. And we're back to you. This time, why don't you try attacking one of my pieces? Try with that machine on your right first. Now move the piece close. When performing an attack, you'll be testing your machine's combat power against the opponent's. A machine and its own attack power. This board only has grassland terrain, which has no effect on a machine's combat power. And your current machine has 2 points of attack power. So in total, your machine's combat power equals 2 points. Since my machine isn't the one attacking, it has 0 points of attack power. And just like your machine, it's not affected by grassland terrain. So right now, the difference in combat power between the 2 machines is 2 points. This means your machine can do 2 points of damage to my machine. Did you get all that? Knew you were a smart one. Finish up. Not pulling any punches, huh? Now grab that second machine of yours. See how your machine can't move close enough to attack mine? You can make your machine sprint. That lets it move 1 space further. Try it out. Downside to sprinting is that your machine can no longer attack. Now, some players like to take a risk and overcharge their machine in cases like this. Overcharging lets you attack after a sprint, but it will damage your machine's health by 2 points. So use at your own discretion. Let's try doing that now so you can see what I mean. That's about it for your turn, then. Now, I'll let you in on a neat trick. That machine of yours, the one closest to me, grab a hold of it. Same as in the wilds, machines have both armored points and weak points. You can see them marked on the pieces. Blue shows where their armor is thickest. Hit them there, and you'll do some damage, but not a lot. Now, red shows the machine's weak points. Hit those, and you'll deal a mighty blow. Here, let me show you. Rotate that piece so your machine faces mine. Now let that machine have it. Off the board she goes, and there's your first victory points. You don't have 7 of them yet, so let's keep going. Your machine attacked mine, but hasn't moved yet. Go ahead and move downwards towards my remaining piece. You've already attacked a machine and moved your piece. Just gotta overcharge that machine and attack mine. Ain't that a thrill? Now, because your machine was knocked out at the same time as mine, we both get the victory points our machines are worth. Good news is, since you're the one attacking, you're gonna receive your victory points before I do. Which means you can reach the coveted 7 victory points first. That's why sometimes losing a piece can be the best way to end a game in your favor. Now, you'll notice you didn't get quite up to 7 victory points this time, but you did destroy all my pieces. That means you're the winner! That wasn't so hard, was it? Just remember to always check for the best terrain to attack from. You'd be surprised the advantage you can gain over an opponent like that. I know it saved my behind in a game or 2.
I'll try and remember that.
Oh, before I forget, these are all my spare pieces. I want the Savior of Meridian to have them. It's a small set to be sure, but it should be enough to get you in on any strike games you find out there. You might even fancy looking out for them strike carvers. They've got all kinds of unique pieces that can turn a game in your favor, though they'll need the right materials to craft you one. Or you might find them in the wilds if you're lucky. I know I've lost my fair share of pieces after a night of machine hunting or brew hopping. No need to thank me. Always a pleasure to help out new strike players. Now, if you feel like playing a real game, I've got plenty of other boards. I could even teach you a few more tricks if you're up for it.
Thanks. I'll think about it.
I knew I'd make a strike player out of you yet. How about this time I tell you how to use a board's terrain to your advantage? This one's got all the different terrains you can encounter in a game of strike. Knowing when and how to use them can mean the difference between victory and defeat. Terrain mainly affects your machine's combat power. As you know, when fighting an opponent's machine, you compare its combat power to yours. The higher your machine's combat power, the more damage you can do. So finding the right terrain is an essential strategy for overpowering your opponent. Here, I'll show you. Grab that piece to your left and move to attack my machines. Now let's take a look at your machine's combat power. Combat power is the sum of a machine's attack power and the value of the terrain it's standing on. Since your machine is attacking, it's using its 2 points of attack power. It's also standing on forest terrain with a value of 1 point. Add those together, and your machine has 3 points of combat power. My machine is standing on grassland terrain with a value of 0 points. It's also not attacking, which means their attack points aren't in play. So my combat power is 0. This means your machine can do 3 points of damage. Go ahead and test it out. There you go. Now, choosing the right terrain doesn't just improve your offense. It can also help defend your machines from attack. Grab your other piece and place it in front of my second machine. Since your machine is attacking, it's using its 2 points of attack power. It's standing on grassland terrain. This terrain has a value of 0. This means your machine's combat power adds up to 2 points. My machine can't use their attack power since they're defending their position. But they have the higher ground. They're standing on forest terrain, which is worth 1 point. This means my combat power adds up to 1 point. Now, the front of my machine is colored blue. This means that the spot you're about to attack has armor protecting it. Which means my machine gets an extra point, giving it a total of 2 combat power points. If we compare the combat power of both machines, you'll see that you won't be able to do any damage. Whenever you're unable to top an opponent's combat power, you can still choose to attack and break their machine's defenses instead. Go ahead, try it out and see what happens. Ha, see? When you break a machine's defenses, you can knock it backwards. Sure, both our machines will receive 1 point of damage, but knocking my machine off that terrain makes it more vulnerable to attacks. Not only that, if my machine had been blocked from moving backwards, it would have received an extra point of damage. And if my machine had been blocked by another one of my pieces, that machine would have received damage as well. That's why breaking a machine's defenses is a great way to deal damage to several pieces at once. Useful, right? Okay, now go ahead and end your turn. There's still one more thing I want to show you. All right, as we've seen, the higher the terrain, the more it'll add to your machine's combat power. However, there are 2 other terrains that work a little differently. This is what we call a chasm. Only flying machines can be placed on those. But it'll take away 2 combat points if you do, so be wary. This is marsh terrain. Landing on it will take away 1 combat power point from most machines. It'll also keep your machine from moving for the rest of the turn. Here, let me show you. Grab that machine on your left. Just move your machine to marsh terrain. See? All you can do now is wait for your next turn to move again. Or you can overcharge your machine to get out of there. You can still attack any nearby enemies so you're not completely helpless. Well, I think that's enough yammering from me for now. Promise it'll all come in handy next time you play. Here for more tips? Why don't I tell you a bit more about the pieces we used to play? In a normal game, you get to choose which machines you place on the board. Each one is worth a certain number of setup points, and you can spend up to 10 assembling your army. Knowing what each machine brings to the game and building an army that matches your strategy is the key to becoming a machine strike master. When assembling your army, there are a few things to keep in mind. First and foremost, you can never have more than 4 of the same machine on the board at the same time. With that in mind, most players would choose machines based on how far they can move or how much attack power they have. But a real strike player will be looking at a machine's type and skills. Let's take a quick look, shall we? Pick up that machine on your left. All right, let's talk about the different ways in which a machine attacks its opponents. In other words, its machine type. If you look at your notes, you'll see this machine here is a melee type. You can also tell by the shape of the base the piece stands on. A melee-type machine attacks the first enemy within range, and no one else. We've seen this plenty of times, so just move that piece forward so I can show you some more stuff. Great, now grab your other machine. Looks like we've got ourselves a gunner-type machine here. This means they'll only hit the farthest enemy in their attack range. Let's move that machine forward and end your turn so we can take a look at the rest of the pieces. Let's go with this piece first. This is a ram-type machine. Attack an enemy with it, and it'll push the piece backwards. Like this. See, now my machine has taken over your machine's spot on the board. This is a great way to take the advantage away from your opponent if they have the higher ground. Looks like we have one more piece to look at. Now this is a beauty of a piece, a dash-type machine. When it attacks, it'll move to the end of its attack range and damage every machine in its path, including your own. So make sure you take a good look at the board before you send it off to the races. You should also make sure it's able to finish its attack on an empty spot. Otherwise, you won't be able to attack at all. Here, I'll show you. Look, it even rotated your piece. A nifty little piece you'll definitely want in your set. If you look at your notes, you'll notice this particular machine has one of the skills I mentioned before. There's quite a few of those, and we haven't even looked at all the machine types yet. But I'm pretty sure you've got more important things to do, so I made you a list. It's got all the tips and tricks we talked about, too. I think that about does it for now, so if you want to play a real game, just let me know. Here we go. That's it for me. Time to make my move. Board's all yours. Okay, let's see. Oh, only one machine left. Knocked right off the board. I'm up. You're up, Red. Oh, looks like I lost. This is gonna be fun. My turn. Your move, Red. Time to get serious. Your turn. Okay, let's see. Well, that's done now. That was brutal. Time to make my move. Board's all yours. Ah, off the board it goes. Just one piece left. Okay, let's see. You got me down to one piece. I am impressed. Now that was a game, even if I lost. Good luck. Time to get serious. That's it for me. One less piece on the board. One less piece on the board. Well, that's done now. I'm up. Knocked right off the board. I was hoping you wouldn't do that. My turn. That was brutal. You're up, Red. Ah, off the board it goes. Ah, knocked right off the board. That was brutal. You got me. Fair and square. Let's do this. Time to get serious. You're up, Red. Well, that's done now. My turn. That's it for me. That was a surprise. One less piece on the board. I'm up. Your turn. Ah, off the board it goes. Time to make my move. Your move, Red. Off the board it goes. Okay, let's see. Well, that's done now. Board's all yours. Knocked right off the board. Hey! I like that piece where it was. Well, spark my forge. You have beaten me on every one of my boards. Now that deserves a prize, I say. I'll see you later, Aloy.